Huh.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what to do.
Um,
I haven't done anything different with my cam. I haven't touched it. I haven't used
are?
Zoom,
Sure.
and I haven't even used Zoom since our last class. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I just grabbed the cam and I squeezed it, and now it's working. So I don't know. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, leave it alone.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Right.
Bill was just checking, and actually next week is the beginning of a new session, but you've gone white again.
Ah,
Hmm.
You're back.
I'm back. Well, at least I know what I pushed this time. Maybe I have to get a new cam. It goes again. This is the last session of the last week of this session. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are we recording?
we are.
Okay.
Oh, but we don't have original sound on yet. I want you to hear the ding shaw. Any questions about double cannon punch?
Moment.
Probably. Any other requests or questions or whatever?
Nope.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So, I think you've both done this before, but I want to just um, look at a elbow rotation exercise that um, we did actually in Dragon and Tiger,
Mm-hmm.
um, which uh, was really helpful for me anyway in working, making that connection between the elbow and the scapula and the spine, and getting making sure that the elbow and the shoulder are all rotating and the scapula are moving. Because that does seem to be a bit of an issue, almost always for everybody at some point or another. So, you can, let me demonstrate it first just to remind you, because you might have forgotten it and you may remember it. Um, so this can be done a couple of ways. Um, the idea is that you sort of focus on the middle finger of the hand staying in position. And you really have to relax the shoulders to do this. And then you're going to circle the elbow. So the elbow goes up high, a little higher than it was at the side, circles to the inside, and then goes back out to facing the ground. So it goes out, up, over, and down. And sometimes a really good way to do this is to attach your middle finger to the wall or some other fixed object. Don't have it too high. Have your hand down about heart level or so. And then you do the same thing, keeping that finger attached. So going out, over, in, and down. Just making a circle with the elbow. And one of the important things is keeping the shoulder relaxed and moving, and not, the shoulder should not be going up like this when the elbow goes up. Actually, the elbow goes out, it goes up, and there is actually for me a sense of the elbow sinking, and then you go over and down. And the shoulder is moving all that time and not getting locked. So you want to try that? Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I did it once before with you, but it's not anything I've ever done regularly.
So Bill, really relax your shoulder. You want to try to allow the when the elbow goes out to the side and then up, you want to let it really circle in. And then so that you really get a circle in there. Yep, better. You feel where that you run into a glitch, Jeff?
Glitch. Around here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And coming over, I can see it not.
What am I doing incorrectly?
You have to relax the shoulder even more.
Even more. Okay.
In doing this, you have to think about this as the elbow being the center, being the leader of the band, if you will, if you think of that concept.
Yeah, I'm trying to still lead from my scapula.
No, you're going to move your shoulder and scapula from your elbow.
Oh, so I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That changed the movement.
Yeah, quite a bit. It does allow me to relax my shoulder a bit more.
Yep. And try it with both arms because often one arm will be different than the other.
I'm not sure I can do it with the other arm this morning.
Okay. Well, later in the day or tomorrow.
Pulling weeds.
What?
I was pulling weeds yesterday.
Uh-oh. Did you overdo?
Uh, well, I have a very worn rotator cuff in this
Uh-huh.
one and two spurs, and the spurs are acting up.
Aha. So
So
for
that,
the condition of your shoulder, you did too much. um, Jeff, the it's interesting. This side is much smoother.
Well, yeah, because I'm doing it from the start. I'm leading from my elbow. The other one I was leading with my scapula until I asked her about it.
Yeah, but
But it does feel a
even
little.
so, with the other one, you have that tends. It also tends to catch um, on the inward sinking area. This side, it doesn't.
Whoops.
Oh, it's back. Good. So the reason for working with this exercise is that it's really the core of what your elbows should be doing um, in everything that we're doing. So when we're you're going to demonstrate, David, get in the camera. So when 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 you're pulsing up here, those elbows are doing the same kind of thing. Now, it's not the identical movement, but it is a circular movement. And each one of these positions has a similar movement because that's what moves the scapula and opens up the connection to the spine. You really need to find that circular movement of the elbows in each of the 8 gaits and in every posture of the Wu style.
Hmm.
So some practice of that exercise I found very helpful in developing my awareness of that and my ability to do it smoothly and fluidly and consistently. So, on that note, any question about that?
no.
Okay. Just a reminder.
Mm.
So let's go into your 8 gaits, and again, I am going to just watch because I want to see what's happening with your elbows as you do this. So how did you feel about that? Any difference?
I thought so.
Uh-huh. Jeff?
Well, I mean, I was more aware of my elbows. I don't know if I felt a big difference or not. Maybe more rounded. Maybe I was going in
Uh-huh.
more rounded. Um,
I, actually, I felt like there was a big improvement in both of you.
oh,
Okay.
good.
Um, so
Okay.
really work with that. And just a couple of comments. Um, remember that you want the elbows to come in, pushing the scapula in when you're bringing the energy in, and the elbows and the scapula go out when you're sending the energy out to your 5 extremities. So be really clear about that, because it doesn't always appear that you are clear about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And secondly, the hands, we are not working, I said this once before, but I'll repeat myself. In this practice, we are not working with the central channel yet. We're working with the side channels. So the hands do not come into the center anywhere in this particular practice at the moment. They come to the line of the side channels, which runs from the shoulder's nest to the qua point. So to have any movement that comes in to the center, whether it's a pulse or a transition, is not correct.
Is that even true with the last one? We don't want to come in this far
That is the exception. I beg your pardon.
Okay.
But that is making the connection to your wrist points, not to the central channel.
Okay.
Okay. Which of the previous 7 did you notice in particular were most problematic as far as coming in too far to the center?
Just about take your pick.
Oh, okay. Right.
There was either a tendency to or a definite movement towards.
Okay.
So, so for instance, um, with let me change here like a second so you can see me. That's good, David. Go away. That'll help them see you. So, for instance, in that last one,
Yeah.
um, the 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 circles that you're doing are not going in this direction because my hands are coming into the center, and
Right.
I did see that going on. So this this circle is going this way along that central channel, or side channels. So you're bringing the energy depending on which one you're doing, but you're bringing the energy one direction in those side channels and then the other direction. And that movement through the side channels goes all the way through the body. Because the side channels, remember, don't just exist in the torso, they go right on up through the head and on the outside of the bones of the arms and the legs. So that energy movement is moving throughout the entire body all the time, but we are focusing on those sidelines in the body because that is how we make the connection to it at this point.
Okay.
So, any other questions about that?
No, that was good to bring the elbow awareness back and focus on that today. That was definitely helpful.
Yep. Good. So, do you have specific questions about double cannon punch, since that was the last one we worked on?
When we're actually doing the forward punch,
Mhm.
there's rotation in the arm, right? A little bit.
There is some rotation because of I think you can see me here. So that movement is coming from the back of the hands on the kidneys to here. So there's there is not a huge amount of rotation there, but the interesting thing about it is that there actually is a twisting in and a twisting out in that extension.
So in the extension, I'm going to over exaggerate this, but in the extension, the fist is going this way. You said twisting out.
It's let's see if I can exaggerate it. So it's twisting in
Yeah.
and then it's twisting out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was actually kind of twisting the other way when I was punching.
Nope. Boom.
Ah.
So that's a twist that's following the thumb edge of the
Hmm.
hand.
Okay. So twisting in and then twisting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this may not be accurate, but it looks like you're going out this way, and the hands are going absolutely straight ahead.
Yeah. That part I got. I was probably overdoing it because I was trying to over twist.
Okay.
Just so you could see which direction I was going.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So this is
Yep.
okay.
You all
Yeah,
right?
that was
You all-
different than I thought, so I'm glad I asked.
Good. You all right with that, Bill?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, so why don't you just flow from the beginning um, through double cannon punch.
Okay.
Okay, so any particular questions come up for you in that?
Well, as you could see, my ankles are in bad shape this morning too. So,
Yeah, this is not a good day for you, Bill, I see. You did the best you could do.
Yep.
Good. Jeff, anything for you?
Um, no, not at the moment.
Okay, so I think the one thing I want to just touch on um, is wave hands,
Yeah.
because you have to really slow down the rotation there and partition it out, if you will.
Yeah. That's always a problem.
Yeah, it is not easy. Um, if I could only see what I'm doing here. So, um, you're trying to keep most of the rotation going constantly. We haven't really gotten to talking about condensing yet. So you're really just working with bending and stretching and twisting and rotating. So one of the things is that when you are ready to start shifting and rotating left, you don't want your hands beyond this point. Jeff, most of the time your hands were here.
Oh, okay.
They need to be here so that you have time to rotate that ball as you go out and rotate it back in the other direction as you come back.
Hmm.
Okay? And it's true on the other side too, although for the most part, that side was not as much of a problem. So, but again, it rotates all the way out and all the way in. All the way out, all the way in. Out, in. Yeah? So, as long as you're clear about that so that you can practice it. Um, no. Pause right there, Jeff.
Yeah.
At that point, your hand should be side to side, not one on top of the other.
Okay. So I'm actually a little behind at that point then.
From that side, yes, not the other.
But now they're at their maximum on top of each other, right?
Yes,
And then as I come back around,
and they're at their minimum
minimum,
opposite each other.
and then as I come to my maximum here, they're on top of each other.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's good, Bill. Just don't extend your arms too much.
okay. Not, you mean not out here?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more important what you're doing with the scapula than what you're doing with your hands.
Okay.
And it's the movement of the elbows to rotate the ball that is moving the scapula. Yep. That's looking better.
And it's feeling better.
Good. Okay.
Thank you for that. I think when I think about how I've been doing it, I'm concentrating on the ball rather than the elbows and the shoulders,
Yeah,
scapula.
I tend to do that too.
Yeah. Okay. So, having arrived at double cannon punch, we really just have two short postures to complete. Um,
And then we're all done?
hardly. You knew the answer to that, Bill. We turn it so that cannon punch. So at this point, you're going to shift forward onto that left foot, and, and that movement begins to release the fist. And well, I'll just say that. Release the fist, and then you're going to rotate to the right and place the right foot straight to the front. And you rotate and shift back onto it. And this movement, the hands and arms and elbows are coming in, bending in until you get to 100%, which releases the left toe to point to the corner in your cat stance. And then you're going to open to complete this. And as you do that, the arms push downward, actually. This is not a push downward, actually, energetically. It's a G. But this is unlike play pipa in the Yang form, where the hands turn in. Here, they turn the other direction. So you end up with the palms facing downward. And the hands are in about the same position they are in the Yang style, but with the palms facing downward. Okay? So do this at another angle here. So you're in double cannon punch. You shift forward, reset the right foot, rotate back onto it. The left floats into position, and you open. And you're 100% on the right foot. Okay?
Is the body rising a little as the hands do G?
No, your body is opening. It's not the same thing.
Okay, I need to see that again then.
I'll do it closer to you so that maybe, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. But
Okay.
so you shift forward, reset that right foot, rotate onto it, touch, open. So the back, we haven't worked on the spine really yet, but the spine is straightening. All the joints of the body are opening. Um, you did energy gates, didn't you, Jeff?
Um, I'm sure I did. What do you mean specifically?
The Qigong opening the energy gates of your body?
Long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we begin to work on opening and closing. And then in heaven and earth, we spent a year on opening and closing.
Okay.
Um, so we're talking about energetically opening and closing, not physical movement particularly.
Right.
There is physical movement related to it, but it is not necessarily rising and sinking. There are places where there is rising.
Right.
There's rising, there's sinking.
Right.
But here, that's not part of the movement. It is simply opening. This is another elbow break or elbow controlling posture.
And the elbows do move out at the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that so they've come in to this point and then they go out.
Yep.
So everything is opening and extending.
And you said that's G energy at the end. It's not Lie. It's not
It's
split.
not lié. Well, depending on your actual application, but let's start with it being G.
Okay.
There are numerous other possibilities, but
And that just entered my head when you said, your elbow break split kind of thing. I was thinking that.
yeah.
So, but
This
as you
is
said, is
this is thinking of the arm being turned in this direction
right.
rather than in the Yang style. We're just thinking of it being here. Here you've actually part of that movement, and part of this movement is turning the arm, and this is pressing down on the elbow.
Okay.
Just to talk about that.
Okay.
Um, any other questions there?
Um, so when you draw the left foot in, you're just touching the toe down. You're not touching the whole foot.
Yes. Yep. And you are not. Just so you can, I hope you can see my feet here. I'm going to take the arms away here for a minute. You're sitting on that left foot to 100% and rotating. That's an empty step with the right.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to rotate back onto it, and you have to go quickly enough onto the right that the left becomes empty, and part of the movement of the body brings it into position. So you're not moving the leg, the body is moving the leg.
Okay. And when you bring it around, you just touch the toe and you still remain weighted on the right fully or almost
Yes.
fully?
100%.
Okay.
Because when you complete the posture, you could also kick.
Okay. And
So,
what's this posture? What's this posture called, David?
um, uh, um,
Let me pull out my sheet.
left hand. No,
Play peepaw.
what? Play peepaw.
Play peepaw. Okay. Just look at my sheet. All right.
So, go, actually, for me to see you, go back to single whip and go into lift hand and through that, and then go right on up through the play peepaw.
So single whip and then the turnaround and.
Yep.
Okay.
And Bill, if that's too much,
Okay,
don't.
yep. I was having to compute there.
Uh, Jeff, just do play peepaw again.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
I feel like I'm not doing on my rotation this way. I'm not moving the hands correctly yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. So rotate and shift, draw the hands in, continue to rotate. What's wrong in there?
Okay. Bill could use some help there too. So here's double cannon punch, And then we continue onto the left foot. That's for Bill.
Yep.
Back. So you have double cannon punch, boom, at your dynamic limit, shift forward and release and reset, rotate back onto it. And what's happening here with the arms is that there is, the elbows are coming in because you're pushing the scapula in. And then when you're in position, you're pushing the scapula out. And there is a little bit of movement in and out this way, but it's very subtle. It's not big. A little hard to describe, I think, here. Boom, shift, reset, twist in, twist out.
And the hands remain at essentially waist level.
Yeah, they don't go down.
Yeah. Okay.
They turn down, they don't go down. Yeah, the subtlety of the movement here is really, I think, the issue
Yeah.
um, in this, because it's yeah. So I talked about not extending too far. You can kind of see where I am here. My elbows are forward of my body, but I'm not here.
Mm.
Okay, so you shift. There's a release. Here, things are twisting inward. Touch, twisting out. So, one of the perhaps slightly confusing things is that there isn't much rotation of the body in that final movement. Again, it's very subtle. So you're twisting in. If I exaggerate this, there is a little twisting out, but it's not. It's small because it's more what's happening from the spine and scapula to the hands than what the hands are doing in the other direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like all the movements, all the components in there are too big for me. So,
Yeah, well, it's all right for them to be larger at this point, and
mm,
just aware that you're working towards more subtle movements.
yeah.
The easy thing is that the final movement close here is really very simple. Um, but of course has its own requirements. So um, when you play pipa, you're facing to that front left corner, and if your right foot is straight to the front, it won't have to move in the next move. So when you're closing, this is a place where we are going to sink and rise, because you're going to turn right and sink and rise, and the arms only lift as long as you are rising. So in other words, if you're here and you complete your rise, that's as far as your arms go. So you may want to slow down that rising so that you can lift the arms a little further, because this is a release into the center. So our usual closing position.
Hmm.
So you play pipa, and you have a turn and sink, rise, release. And when you feel that the energy, and we'll talk more about what's going on energetically here, but um, when the energy has settled, then typically release. So if we go back to um, shoot the tiger with the bow, we turn, shift, stroke the kidneys, double cannon punch, shift forward, release, rotate and shift onto the right, touch, open, sink, turning forward, rise, and close.
David, since we're here at the end, can you review the specific connection that we're making when we put our hands together on the dantian?
Absolutely. So you are putting together the Laogong points in the palm
Okay,
and the lower dantian.
so the Laogong points are together and they are below the belly button.
Yes, they are.
They're both below that on the lower dantian.
Depends where your dantian actually is. It can vary, so you'll have to feel that, of course.
Right,
But it is roughly a couple of inches, maybe inch and
right.
a half, 2 inches. It varies with different people. I had one student whose lower dantian was way down. Here's my belly button. It was way down low.
Hmm,
Um, so it varies. And
right.
the point is to feel that connection of the energy flowing through the two Laogong points. And believe me, when you find it, you can feel it. And you're focusing that to the lower dantian.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm asking this, because I'm not feeling what I think I should be feeling.
Yeah,
And I think I wasn't properly connecting Laogong points and I was too high.
yeah,
I was probably a bit above my lower dantian. So
yeah,
I'll work on that, but now I know what I want to try to do.
sure.
Yeah.
Other questions in there?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, we've got time enough to do a flow, so let's do a flow together.
All
Uh,
right.
Bill, don't do it if that's not appropriate for you. Begin Taiji. Stepping with the left. Pong. Ji. Ryu. On. Turn. Pong. Ji. Lu. On. Step. Rotate and shift. Extend out. Reset. Single whip. Shift. Rotate and touch. Step back. Pull down. Release. Embrace. Shift. Rotate in. Step to the corner. Shoulder. White goose spreads its wings. Follow. Focus. Rotate and step back. Turn on the right heel. Rising to down and under. Turn. Step. Rotate out. Rotate in. Rotate out and in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out to the right. Reset. Single whip. Shift. Rotate and touch. Step. Lift hand. Sit back and turn. High pat the horse. Rotate. Step. Subdue tiger. Shift and kick. Boom. Subdue tiger right. Shift and kick. Step around, bending in. Turn on the right heel. Kick with the left heel. Step and single whip. Step up. Push down. Step forward, follow. Push and chop. Rising, turning, and stepping back. Cover the fist. Turn, step, chop forward. Sit back, turn, step, G. Shift back and turn. Shift forward. Kick, step back. Offering incense. Shift back, step, and gargoyles. Step, rotate and shift gargoyles, shift forward, sweep the lotus, stroke the long beard, pick up your bow, and shoot the tiger. Rotate, shifting back and release. Shift forward, connect to the kidneys and stroke, double cannon punch. Shift forward, reset the right, rotate back onto it, play peepaw, sink, drawing the foot in, rise, and release into center. And release. Good. But that's all the movements anyway.
And I'm guessing that's just the beginning.
Something like that.
Okay.
So, any other questions or comments at the moment?
No.
I hope you feel better, Bill.
Thank you.
Good. Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, guys.
See you both
Sweet.
next week.
Take care.
Okay.
Oh, I'll see you tomorrow, David. Yeah.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.